So I started off my day in this spot. Or I started off my life in this type of spot. What is this type of spot? But this type of spot is a place where you feel completely in bliss. Comforted, the sun is out shining above me. The ground below me is super tender and soft. You can see my feet are just melting in like snow, crisping into the earth's frequency. But every single step that I take, I'm completely supported in this soft earth, Mother Earth, and I'm completely in bliss. And I keep walking in it, and it's just like I'm having these conversations with people I love on the phone and with self, and it's just divine. I'm like, I feel like I'm on this new earth, I feel like I'm on this new spaceship, new planet, I'm landing on it, and it's like soft, and it's like so delicious, and like, every step, like look at this, I just sink into it, and it feels so good. I feel like divine heaven, paradise. I mean, look at this place, complete paradise. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, so great, and we can stay here. Like, it feels so good. It's like being in the mother's womb, right? The baby felt so good, so warm inside. Oh my gosh, so warm. And then it was like, came out of the womb, and it was like screaming and yelling. I'm like, what did you do? You took me out of this womb. Oh my gosh, what's happening? And then there's something even more beautiful, right? To get out of this beautiful womb, this beautiful soft part of earth. Soft, really soft, held earth, so soft. And I start walking on these rocks below my feet. And like, let me tell you, they feel nice, but they're not as nice as that I was there at first. And it's like a little bit uncomfortable. I feel a little uncomfortable walking on these rocks, right? And I'm like, oh, it's so soft over there. It was like a blankie. I felt so understood. I felt so complete. I felt so held. I felt like I was in my mother's womb. I felt so divine, peaceful, pure. And then I step on here and it's like, okay, it's nice. This feels beautiful too. I love it. There's all these pretty colors, trying to look at all the pretty colors around me, but they're hard, right? They're solid. They're not as soft. They're like solidified information, pieces of myself, right? That was a piece of me. That part of earth is a piece of me. It's very soft. And this is a piece of me that is like solidified, right? So I think of like all these rocks below me in this ocean. The ocean represents, and water represents your emotions. And I think about all my emotions, all these stories below my feet, right? And they're hard as a rock, and I'm like, wow, I gotta be grateful for all these stories because they're supporting me and they're holding me up, right? They're all of me, and I'm all of them. And they're holding me up right now, right? The gravity of the earth, like I am on earth, and this is what's holding me up, are these rocks. And I'm celebrating them, and I'm honoring all these emotions, all these rocks, all these stories, right? A rock is like a pattern or a belief. For example, I give a pattern, a belief. So, okay, a woman and a man are going on their first date. And this is a story. This is just a story. Everything I'm saying is a story. And she goes on her date, and she's watching if he's going to pay for the meal, right? And he's going to pay for the meal. She wants to see, like, in her pattern or her story, she's been told by her mother, mothers, or friends, or family, or sisters, that if he's paying for the meal, he could take care of you, he could support you, he could hold your family, you. This love letter, this note, this financial note is a love letter to let you know that you can be held during this divine meal with this person. And then for him, he's like, yes, I'm going to pay for this meal. But he also wants to see, like, will she pay for the tip or offer or do something in exchange to make him feel like he's held, like he's honored, like, oh, I want to pay for this meal. But, you know, will she do this? Again, these are conditions. These are stories. These are patterns. This is a story. A delicious story, but a story. Like, I love this story. I honor all these rocks. I see all these rocks, right? Can't really break them up, right? They're there. They're pretty solid there. They're just pieces, and but they're on the ground, right? And I'm above it, and I'm standing above the stories, looking down them like as if these are like little ants, right? And I'm in the high sky and looking down at all these stories, and I'm like, okay, that's a good story. And I'm like, okay, well, if he does, or she says, whoever that person is who's on this date, this piece of me, this person or this story is a piece of me. If he pays for dinner and she does that, then they could, you know, do more dates together. And then you're dating for a little while longer, and then like this other frequency of this other story is like, well, if he says I love you first, then I could say I love you. But meanwhile, these are conditions, right? Or stories of patterns, like of behavior that have been held in a frequency for some time, and they're just stories. So saying I love you at any time, in any way, whether you said it first to yourself or you said it out loud to him, because when you say I love you, you're saying I love you to yourself. Or when you pay for a meal or not pay, or whoever it is, you're always supported. Whoever's paying the meal, you, him, whatever, it's your love letter, it's his love letter, it's love letters. And just honoring it. And sometimes you just can't even change the story, because that's just the rock, right? This is the story. You just got to receive this beautiful rock and just drop it right back in to the emotion and the water it came from, and honor it and just look at it. Look at all these stories. Look at all your stories in life. See it? These are all your stories. All these scripts that you wrote. It's beautiful. They're all different colors. See? This one is this color. They're solid. The stories are done. They're there. Right? All those past stories are there. And you could stand above it. And you could celebrate it. Celebrate where you have walked before, because I've walked on this. I've seen all these stories. Celebrating them.